Well, hello, my little kobolds. Sorry about yesterday. I wasn't feeling particularly well, so I spent the whole day in my nice little kobold bed. But I'm back today, and we're playing some more Mass Effect. We're finishing up the last of the quests so we could get this time in the Citadel, and we're going to be on our ship. So, let's get that uh, started, and yeah, there we go. And I'll just turn on the background. Ah, I'm going to resume. The next thing I'm going to do is see if I can change the volume. Just give me a minute. There we go. Well, the sound's all the way down. There we go. Alright. Let's go back up to the shells here and take that quest, because we didn't do it last time.
Ah, change your mind? You gonna help me record those wins?
Can you do that? Isn't that illegal?
It's illegal to use my system, but I won't use it. I'll sell it to others. I just need a few more wins recorded.
I'll help you out.
Huh. I suppose I could let you try it. Here you go. When you've recorded enough wins, it'll let you know. Of course, if you get caught with the device, well, you saw what happened to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Off you go. That data won't collect itself.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Huh.
It's not what I heard.
And what did you hear exactly?
More rumors about strange metal creatures with real AI, no doubt.
Ha!
Yes, but there's more.
Yeah, there always is.
I heard they had some connection with a rogue Spectre.
Oh, really?
Not this again.
Why is that so hard to believe?
Whatever you say. Just don't expect us to believe it too.
Heh.
Hey, Jenna came back looking for work. Thanks for getting her out of Cora's den.
I was glad to help out.
Yeah, everyone seems real happy to have her back.
And yet, you seem less than pleased.
I'm glad she's out of the den. I'd just forgotten what it was like to have her around.
Heh.
I haven't had a decent tip since she got back.
Alright. Now I'm going to go up here. And... there we go. Oop, that's not the button I wanted. No, no. And... closest to 20 without going over. This is gonna be fun. 4. Hit that button. Gambling! Isn't it fun? Play again. Ah! Dang it. 5. Let's see here. 11. Very good, very good. Don't bust, don't bust, don't bust. Yay!
Don't often see someone getting as lucky as you.
Now that's 3. Oh no, that's 2. Sorry. 4, 11. Don't bust, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust. Well, I mean, if I was playing blackjack, that would be perfect. Snurf, finish, snurf, finish, snurf. Yes. Don't bust, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust. Oh, come on. Don't bust, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust. Ah, I busted. Damn. Uh-huh. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Come on. 9. 14. Don't bust, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust. Okay, so that's 3 or 4? I can't tell. Ah! Phooey. 4. Come on. 10. Don't bust, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust.
Your luck seems unnatural, human.
Uh-huh. 5. Come on. 10. Don't bust, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust. Ah, I busted. Dang it. Eight. Come on. Don't bust, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust. No. I will not keep playing because that would be foolish. Yeah.
Hey there, welcome to Flex.
And now I give back the device to Shells.
So, did you record 5 wins with the device yet?
Here you go. I hope it's what you're looking for.
Excellent indeed. This will provide me with invaluable data. You enjoy those winnings. I'm gonna get the system completed.
Yay! Oh, I get to do one more thing. Yes, my very bad dancing. Yay! I get to do that bad dancing. Come on, you two. Oh, come on. Hey, come on, you two. There we go. And now we go to CSEC. Alright. And now, since I've done everything here and I've recruited my 2 people. Where am I going? Where is this? Ah, docking bay.
Do you ever regret leaving Citadel security to pursue Saren, Garrus?
Fighting a rogue Spectre with countless lives at stake and no regulations to get in the way? I'd say that beats CSEC.
I'm pleased that the imminent destruction of all organic life has improved your career opportunities.
Ooh, now that's a conversation. Alright. Haha!
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
What?
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard.
Right.
They were considering me for the Spectres.
Why didn't you ever mention this?
What was I supposed to say? I could have been a Spectre, but I blew it? I failed, Commander. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story.
Oh, don't worry, I will.
All you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got us Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
That's true.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharaoh system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice on that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her.
That's
See
true.
what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre.
Well, that's for sure.
I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
All right.
Yes,
Spill.
Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me.
Ooh.
The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
Why weren't you honest with me?
It's not something I'm proud of.
Yeah.
I had a chance to become the first human Spectre, and I failed. Saren made sure of that.
I think I deserve the whole story.
I do.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I have a feeling that's not what happened.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500.
Yeah.
Mostly civilians.
Yuck.
Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished. And I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
he
true.
just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
Well, let me investigate. I think I've looked at these two. I don't think I've looked at that one. Yeah.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Tassoni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
Okay.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact.
Oh, cool.
The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
Ew.
What can you tell me about Novaria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research.
Ew.
Watch your back there, Shepard. Spectres are about the only form of Citadel authority Novaria respects. But they aren't popular.
Check, 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 return. And goodbye.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Oh, yes, I know. That. And per usual, I'll be reading all the codex things toward the end of the stream.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics.
True.
Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Saren's out there somewhere, and we're gonna find him.
Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking.
We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others.
Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of.
Our enemy knows we're coming.
When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too.
Humanity needs to do this.
Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped, and I promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
The Captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, ma'am.
Good speech, good speech. Doop-a-doo, doop-a-doop-a-doo. Journal. Find Liara, Geth interest, and Geth attack. Alright. Let me go here. Alright. now I'm going to talk to my crew for a little bit. Always talk to your crew after every mission.
Commander, something you need?
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
Oh dear.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic, but I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau.
True.
Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though.
Ew.
I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her.
Ooh.
Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
Check, check, check.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
Yay! Let's go there. There. Well, hello! Mass Effect is going fine. How you doing today? Doopy-doo, doopy-doopy-doo. I'm just gonna go over here and talk to Presley.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, ma'am, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Hey, everybody needs help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness.
Point.
That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were one of the first reinforcements to arrive at Elysium after the Blitz hit. Those raiders were no match for an Alliance frigate. Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
Okay. I signed up with the Alliance as a... We were one of the... Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
I think I got everything.
Carry on, Presley.
Got everything
yes,
from him? Okay. Well, let's see here. Okay, I don't want to go down that way. I want to go this way. Open the door. Have I had the conversation with these two yet? Yes, I have. And now I get to have conversations with everybody downstairs. Woo!
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods.
Oof.
Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products.
Okay.
I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands.
Okay.
Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
Check it, check.
Let's see what you got.
Show me.
You bet, Commander.
And yes, this is the reason why every time I stopped at one of the stores, I went and got the licenses, because of this. Ooh. I don't think I can wear that yet. At any rate. So, right now I can get up to level 7 in weapons. I'm not doing that right now, because quite honestly, I don't have the money. But, yeah, there you have it. Now I'm going to go talk to Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
True.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
Oh.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to... I understand, Commander.
Alright.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you got... No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
We came as soon as we got the distress call.
You did the best you could, Commander. It's my fault. If I had been more alert...
We never trained to fight synthetics.
Our training's supposed to make us... I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am?
Alright. Now I get to talk to Rex over here.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Yeah, they tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation?
The skies darken, the sun's light shies away in fear. Empty
and
blackness
I suppose it's destroying your
fills
entire species?
the realm. A portal made of pure Vesper rips itself open, cloaked in purple and tinted with red and black around its edges. A figure with wings blacker than the void of space, the eyes of the cruelest amber, and skin charred by endless, untamed energy steps through. Chaos Lord. Mag has arrived. Well, hello, my lovely Chaos Goose Mag. How you doing? I love the description.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger.
I don't blame you, Mag.
Too spread out.
I really don't.
None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us
98
never go
degrees?
back.
Wow. Damn. That is rather toasty.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one, and no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time.
That is very
It's just
true.
who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Check and check.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Woohoo! Now I get to talk to Tally.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a
It
transport
lasted
like
an
this
hour
before.
before the clouds.
I can't believe you were able
I
to
called
fit it into a ship
in
this small.
before the clouds come. I called in to
I'm
make it
starting
dead.
to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified,
Without
and
my old
refitted.
source, so
They aren't pretty, but they work.
Our source
mostly.
from my old house.
We've tried
It's
to make
tougher
ourselves as
on me
independent
to
as
go.
possible on the flotilla. Food, mine, and
Are you
process
channeling
our
that
own
Leilana energy?
But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple
My old place was
births.
a plantation.
Though the Conclave
souls
hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a
to allow me
century.
to tap into their essence. Hidden rituals. Okay.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
I know you are.
In
It's
practice,
just
the Conclave and the respective
idea
council
of
for each ship tend to
doing
set
that
the rules
just
that govern our
tickled
daily
my funny
lives.
bone.
But in theory,
If I
we are
offended,
still
I'm
under
sorry.
military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Well, that is very true. That is, I will agree with what you're saying there, Mag.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input.
Oh, yes.
Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level.
And you have to know when to duck and when not to duck.
It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves.
Which is not good.
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Well, I understand that, Mag. I do. And as I said before, it's one of those situations that you have to know when to duck and when not to duck. And at this point, well...
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Well, if I could give you kobold hugs, I would, Mag. As it is, I can only give it to you virtually.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage.
As I said before, I wish I could give you actual hugs, Mag.
We only return once we have found something of value, we can bring back to the fleet.
But
this
we can
is
only
presented
offer
as a gift
offer
to
them
the
to you
captain of the
virtually,
respective
so
ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Here you go. Here's a virtual kobold hug. To you, Mac.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer.
That's true.
Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Check. Yep, okay. Goodbye.
I should go.
See you later.
Woohoo. There we go. And now I'll talk to Mr.
Hey, Commander,
Adams here.
You know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up. Unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
Right.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Ew.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
See, check.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Whee! Alright. Now we have talked to everybody down here. No, she has not. I don't know why you would think that. Ah! Damn it. Didn't go through the door fast enough. There we go. Now I went through the door fast enough. Alrighty then. Whee! Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. And we are going to go pick up our very last crew member. Of course, we're going to stop off on all the... yeah, rejected my door. I couldn't get through the door. Oh, so you... Oh, okay. I happen to like Liara. That's my favorite. Yes. Ooh. Doopy-doo. And there it goes. See, this is the right way to do that particular thing. Alright. Now. I'm gonna start way over here. Doopy-doo. Doopy-doo, doopy-doo. Grunt his sexy face. I don't care that he's a grunt. You know what? You can say that. You can so say that. I won't say a word. Let's see. Alright. Alsages. A small distant Alsages is a small terrestrial with a trace atmosphere of methane and argon. The surface is composed of water ice and calcium with an occasional deposits of light metals. During the Alliance pirate suppression campaign in the 2160s, the protein Yulum Ranpura was caught with his frigate, the Turneron, grounded on Alsages for drive discharge. When challenged by the cruiser Hyderabad, Ranpura refused to surrender. The Turn was destroyed attempting to take off. The debris is strewn across the southern hemisphere. Orbital period is 73 Earth years. The radius is 4,926 kilometers. The length is about 23.3 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure, there we go, is 0.0 Earth atmos. Surface temperature is, wow, that's cold, negative 193 Celsius. Surface gravity is 0.07 gravity. And I can't land on this, so wow. Ha 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 ha! I am not going to deny that, my dear. The next planet is Ontamalaka? Omalaka is a large hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sulfur in the atmosphere. Its massive gravity well tugs at many asteroids from the outer belt inwards, past the orbit of Altea and Eldos, and eventually settle into the inner belt. Montana's orbit is congested with hundreds of captured moons. Most only last 1,000 years before being ejected, dragged down to the into the atmosphere, or ripped apart by the tidal forces, and then added to the gas giant's massive rings. Immense rings. Not massive, immense. I don't know whose idea it was, but someone decided Krogans didn't deserve blood of any kind. I don't know either. Attempting to navigate this chaotic environment is hazardous at best. Ships without military-grade kinetic barriers are likely to suffer catastrophic impacts. The orbital period is 39.1 Earth years. The radius is 72,492 kilometers, and the day length is 17.7 hours. Again, I'm going to do a survey, which I pump some gas. Let's see. Alright. Alta Ea. Oh, I can't even do anything with this one. I'm going to read the stuff on this. Alta Ea is an unusually large terrestrial world with a trace atmosphere of methane and ammonia. The surface is frozen and mainly composed of sandstone and other sedimentary rocks, with deposits of iron and chlorides. Judging by the sedimentary composition of the crust, it appears that Altea once possessed an atmosphere thick enough to support some form of liquid. What cataclysm stripped the atmosphere and left the planet to freeze is not currently known. The orbital period is 18.1 Earth years. The radius is 11,000. 190 kilometers. I'm making sure I read that right. Day length is 47.2 Earth hours. The atmo pressure is 0.2 Earth atmos. The surface temperature is negative 36 Celsius, and again another cold planet. And the surface gravity is 1.7 Gs. Let's see. That's that one.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
Ooh. Edolis. Edolis is a terrestrial planet with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. The surface is covered by wide deserts of silicate sand, with only a few areas of indigenous rock and highlands break the abrasive dust-choked wind. Edolis' orbit is conjectured with debris thrown inward toward the gravity of the gas giant Ono Malaka. Due to a high rate of meteor impacts, exploration is highly dangerous. Orbital period is 2.7 Earth years. Rate is 5,729 kilometers. Day length is 50.3 Earth hours. Atmo pressure is 0.8 Earth atmos. Surface temperature is only -1 Celsius, so it's cold, but well, it's cold. Surface gravity is 0.87 Gs. Woohoo! And we're not going to land on it yet because I want to do the last planet, and then we'll come back and land on this, and I'll show you all the other neat stuff that you can do. Let's see. Okay, I've already got that planet. I'm going to do this one. Trim and Trimarine. Trimarine is a dwarf planet composed of light magnesium and silicates with deposits of aluminum or aluminium. Aluminium. Yeah. Its surface is covered by wide swaths of ancient dark ballistic lava, possibly indicating that the world was created through an impact of some other body in the system. Tremir's magnetic field is non-existent. This makes it impossible for ships to dump drive torches from orbit. That said, Tremir's Minuscule gravity allows even cruiser-sized vessels to land safely for direct grounding. Orbital period is 1 Earth year. Radius is 1,528 kilometers. Day length is 1 Earth year. Atmo pressure is 0.0 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature is 55 Celsius, which I believe is warm. And surface gravity is 0.1 Gs. And again, I can't do anything with that particular thing. So let's go here. Let's do the landing bit. Woohoo. Now. Taking Tali. And I'm taking Kaden because that will give me more tech strength. Yes, I'm going to accept that. Normally I would take an all-girl squad, but I don't have the other person I would normally take with that, so... Woohoo! Map? That's a distress signal, that's an anomaly, and that's debris. We're going to go to the distress signal first, because I know what's there. Kind of. Chicken squawk. Nutsoids! I should have been a lot more careful. Oh well. Let's try this again, this time with feeling. And a lot more moving around. Hee 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 hee. Come on. Oh, come on. Really? Yeah, I don't like thrush mauls. I never have. They are a bitch. And yes, it's the first and only time you're going to actually hear me curse in this Let's Play, because I hate thresher mauls. This one I have to deal with because of it's a quest, so boom. I can kill it as long as I A, keep moving, and B, stay out of its way. Sarnet, bacon, apple, bacon, hug. That last one. That last one. Oh boy. Nope, nope. Cancel.
Alliance soldiers. Looks like they were lured here by the distress beacon.
These are Admiral Kahoku's men. We need to tell him what happened here.
Yeah, I will. There we go. Alright. Map. And now I'm going to go to the anomaly. Which is off in this direction. Yahoo! Toad water? Oh boy. Whee! Let's not go backwards. Forwards is a good way of going. Whee! Aha! There it is. And now I get to play Frogger! Oop, hell. It would help if I actually played Frogger correctly. And now... up to the debris. Chocolate rocket. Chocolate Rocky Monday. What your fancy? Well, I do have a hankering for chocolate, yes. Traveling across here in the Mako. I figured as much. I'm just not going to say that on stream. I am not a stupid kobold. Naive at times, yes, but not stupid. Fiddlesticks and manhole covers, alright.
Area secure.
Yeah, alright. Okay, missing Marines. That, and mining more minerals, yay! I'm a flamingo. Honk. So you're a chaos flamingo? Alright, zoom out. Zoom out. Macedon? Yes. Alright, so again we start out with the outer planet. Fargelius? Fargelius. Yes. is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with an abundance of airborne hydrocarbons. The orbital period is 111.7 Earth years. That's a really long time for Earth year, or for their years. Radius is 40,394 kilometers, and the day length is 19.1 Earth hours. So I'm going to do a survey, some gas. Next one is Patavig. Patavig is the second of the Massian system's giant terrestrial planets, and by far is the more interesting. The surface is covered by a vast sea of liquid ammonia, which is unique, which a unique aquatic ammonia-based biosphere has developed. While the frozen continents are largely bereft of life, a rich bounty of complex organisms, many larger than a human, flourish in its chilly toxin seas. While dreadfully unhospitable to humans, Patflig is suitable for colonizations by the Volus. Negotiations between the Systems Alliance and the Volus patrons, the Turin's hierarchy, have made good progress. The orbital distance is 11.3 AUs. Orbital period is 69. Nice. Speaking of, apparently flamingos, while exotic, make good pets. I would know it. I've never had a flamingo as a pet. Radius is 10,529 kilometers. Day length is 30.4 Earth hours. The atmospheric pressure is 22.4 Earth atmos. The surface temperature is negative 130 Celsius, which is very, very cold. Surface gravity is 1.6 Gs. Portalon. Portalon is an enormous terrestrial planet, half again the size of Earth. Despite its thick atmosphere, the weak output of the red dwarf Macedon leaves its surface biting cold. The crust is mainly composed of silica, but significant deposits of iron and other industrial metals are present. These lodes may prove rich enough to be profitably mined despite the heavy gravity. If you need to snooze, you can go to sleep. The orbital period is 21 Earth years. The radius is 9,749 kilometers. Day length is 45.4 Earth hours. The atmo pressure is 1.4 Earth atmos. Surface temperature is negative 197 Celsius, and the surface gravity is 1.5 Gs. Bye, Meg. Have a good sleep. Ooh, Matrix writings found. Sharjah has a very dense atmosphere and ammonia and oxygen. Its temperate surface is mainly composed of alumina and deposits of sulfur. Convoys in the system have recently logged a number of unregistered vessels operating nearby. Sharjah has an extensive silicon-based oxygen-breathing ecology. Heavy populated areas cover the fine silicon dioxide, dust, a respiratory byproduct of the world's higher animal forms. High-speed surface winds, often laden with brazen silica dust, present a hazard. In areas where the wind deposits a great deal of silica, footing can be treacherous. EVAs are discouraged. Orbital period is 1 Earth year. The radius is 5,693 kilometers. The day length is 40.6 Earth hours. The atmospheric pressure is 39.16 Earth atmospheres. The surface temperature is 25 Celsius, which that makes it warm. And the surface gravity is 0.9 Gs. And since it's the last planet, or the closest one to the star, we are going to land on it. And again, I'm going to take Talia and Caden. Accept squad. And I need to do stuff with my with my other member there, so give me a minute. Well, I might have to do something with Caden. Just give me a minute here. Squad. Yeah, I thought so. Auto level up. Okay. Okay. I don't have to do her or me. Right. Okay, turtle. Writings. I think that's the only thing I had to find, right? Right, okay. Now, anomaly, stronghold. Let's go to the debris first. Woohoo! Chaplain.
Moving out.
Nutsoids. There we go. Take home. Yay! Alright, now we go over here. Here we go, across the surface, riding in a mango.
En route.
All right.
Redeploying.
Langfarger. on to our last place here. Get some fighting in, and then we'll do the other 2 planets. Yeah. Whee! Alrighty then. Whee!
Enemy sighted.
Do. Hi. Oh, okay. Come on. I'm back here.
Countermeasure deployed.
Area secured.
That's fine. Now I get to check this place out. Ah, okay. Damn it. Alright. Alright. All right. Well, that's everything in here. Well, all the stuff that I can do in here. And now I go there. I back up. Click on that. Right, okay. I'm returning to the Normandy, and we're going to... Hi, Evil! How you doing? And hi, hi, Kenny. Alright. Squad. Which, you know, this means me. Gonna put another point in charm. Let's see here. Yay. There we go. Put all of it in inspector training. I'm doing a bit better, I guess. Journal, let's see here. Not that. Not that. Nope. 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 No. No. Ah, there it is. Okay. I have to go all the way up to the top. He. Okay.
In the early 2160s, the Alliance began aggressive colonization of worlds in the Skyllian Verge, much to the dismay of the Batarians, who had been developing the region for several decades. In 2171, the Batarians petitioned the Council to declare the Verge a zone of Batarian interest. The Council refused, however, declaring unsettled worlds in the region open to human colonization. In protest, the Batarians closed their Citadel embassy and severed official diplomatic relations with the Council, effectively becoming a rogue state. They instigated a proxy war in the Verge by funneling money and weapons to criminal organizations, urging them to strike at human colonies. Hostilities peaked with the Skyllian Blitz of 2176, an attack on the human capital of Elysium by Batarian-funded pirates and slavers. In 2178, the Alliance retaliated with a crushing assault on the moon of Torfin, long used as a staging base by Batarian-backed criminals. In the aftermath, the Batarians retreated into their own systems and are now rarely seen in Citadel space.
Ooh, yes, you do see me. Or rather, you see Rags. Okay.
After the Geth secure a location, thresher maws are subterranean carnivores that spend their entire lives eating or searching for something to eat. Threshers reproduce via spores that can lie dormant for millennia, yet are robust enough to survive prolonged periods in deep space and atmospheric re-entry. As a result, thresher spores appear on many worlds, spread by previous generations of space travelers. The body of a thresher never entirely leaves the ground. Only the head and tentacles erupt from the Earth to attack. In addition to physical attacks, threshers have the ability to project toxic chemicals and emit bursts of infrasound as a shockwave weapon. The Alliance first encountered threshers on the colony of Akuz in 2177. After contact was lost with the Pioneer team, Marine units were deployed to investigate. The shore parties were set upon by hungry threshers, and nearly the entire assault force was killed. Alliance forces recommend engaging threshers with vehicle-mounted heavy weapons.
As I've said before, I do not like thresher balls.
The Citadel space is an unofficial term referring to any region of space controlled by a species that acknowledges the authority of the Citadel Council. At first glance, it appears this territory encompasses most of the galaxy. In reality, however, less than 1% of the stars have been explored. Even Mass Effect FTL drive is slow relative to the volume of the galaxy. Empty space and systems without suitable drive discharge sites are barriers to exploration. Only the mass relays allow ships to jump hundreds of light years in an instant, the key to expanding across an otherwise impassable galaxy. Whenever a new relay is activated, the destination system is rapidly developed. From that hub, FTL drive is used to expand to nearby star clusters. The result is a number of densely developed clusters, thinly spread across the vast expanse of space, connected by the mass relay network.
Alrighty then.
Pharos is a... There are between 2 and 400 billion stars in the galaxy, and less than 1% of them have ever been visited or had their systems properly surveyed. Humanity's early expansion into the Attican Traverse was haphazard, a desperate race to claim habitable planets where populations can be economically settled. Ignored in the wake of this land grab were thousands of less hospitable worlds, each potentially rich with industrial resources. The wealth of entire solar systems lies untapped, waiting for corporate survey teams or independent pioneers to discover and exploit them. However, this is not an easy task. In addition to the environmental hazards, the fact that uncharted worlds are largely ignored makes them popular bases for criminals, revolutionaries, cults, and others who wish to remain unnoticed by galactic society.
All right. Let's see here.
Faster than light drive, larger warships are generally classified in one of 4 weights. Frigates are small, fast ships used for scouting and screening of larger vessels. Frigates often operate in wolf-pack flotillas. Cruisers are middleweight combatants, faster than dreadnoughts and more heavily armed than frigates. Cruisers are the standard patrol unit and often lead frigate flotillas. Dreadnoughts are kilometer-long capital ships mounting heavy, long-range firepower. They are only deployed for the most vital missions. Carriers are dreadnought-sized vessels that also carry large numbers of fighters. Smaller vessels are almost exclusively used in a support role to the warships during combat. Fighters are one-man craft used to perform close-range attacks on enemy ships. Interceptors are one-man craft optimized for destroying opposing fighters.
Well, that was a quick check on that.
The Normandy is a prototype starship developed by the Human Systems Alliance with the assistance of the Citadel Council. It is optimized for scouting and reconnaissance missions in unstable regions using state-of-the-art stealth technology. For most ships, the heat generated through standard operations is easily detectable against the absolute zero background of space. The Normandy, however, is able to temporarily sink this heat within the hull. Combined with refrigeration of the exterior hull, the ship can travel undetected for hours or drift passively for days of covert observation. This is not without risk. The stored heat must eventually be radiated, or it will build to levels capable of cooking the crew alive. Another component of the stealth system is the Normandy's revolutionary Tantalus drive, a Mass Effect core twice the standard size. The Tantalus drive generates mass concentrations that the Normandy falls into, allowing it to move without the use of heat-emitting thrusters. An artificial intelligence is a self-aware. When subjected to an electrical current, the rare material dubbed Element Zero, or EZO, emits a dark energy field that raises or lowers the mass of all objects within it. This mass effect is used in countless ways, from generating artificial gravity to manufacturing high-strength construction materials. It is most prominently used to enable faster-than-light space travel. EZO is generated when solid matter, such as a planet, is affected by the energy of a star going supernova. The material is common in the asteroid debris that orbits neutron stars and pulsars. These are dangerous places to mine, requiring extensive use of robotics, telepresence, and shielding to survive the incredible radiation from the dead star. Only a few major corporations can afford the setup costs required to work these primary sources. Humanity discovered refined Element Zero at the Prothean Research Station on Mars, allowing them to create mass effect fields and develop FTL travel. Element Zero can increase or decrease the mass of a volume of space-time when subjected to an electrical current. With a positive current, mass is increased. With a negative current, mass is decreased. The stronger the current, the greater the magnitude of the dark energy mass effect. In space, low-mass fields allow FTL travel and inexpensive surface-to-orbit transit. High-mass fields create artificial gravity and push space debris away from vessels. In manufacturing, low-mass fields permit the creation of evenly blended alloys, while high-mass compaction creates dense, sturdy construction materials. The military makes extensive use of mobility-enhancing technologies, with Mass Effect utilizing fighting vehicles standard frontline issue in most military forces. Mass Effect fields are also essential in the creation of kinetic barriers or shields to protect against enemy fire. An artificial intelligence. Omni-tools are handheld devices that combine a computer microframe, sensor analysis pack, and manufacturing fabricator. Versatile and reliable, an Omni-tool can be used to analyze and adjust the functionality of most standard equipment, including weapons and armor, from a distance. The fabrication module can rapidly assemble small three-dimensional objects from common reusable industrial plastics, ceramics, and light alloys. This allows for field repairs and modifications to most standard items, as well as the reuse of salvaged equipment. Omni-tools are standard issue for soldiers and first-in colonists.
Alright, now we go to secondary. The migrant fleet has a little atomic base, operating in the state of perpetual hand-to-mouth. While the Quarian ships include light manufacturing and assembly plants, they lack the heavy industries such as refining and shipbuilding. The fleet has tankards for water purification and oxygen cracking, but the space-intensive nature of the agriculture limits food production. A single disaster could destroy the fragile balance. Quarians earn income in creative ways. Because government is obliged to provide food, water, air, and medical support for every individual, the conclave strategically determines a course of the fleet to bring in resources and income. A species who suspects the migrant fleet is heading towards their space often offers a gift of a surplus starships, fuel, and resources to convince the conclave to alter course. The fleet passes through a system. Swarms of mining vessels work over asteroids for metals and silicous minerals, and commodity bodies for water, ice, and organics. Quarian miners are adept at locating and strip mining space-borne resources, and this sparks conflict with corporations already working the system. Large mining concerns spend millions of lobbyists and public relations portraying the Quarians as locusts devouring the resources of a system before moving on. Yeah, I'd really like to know that. One of the greatest assets of the Quarians is their ratified skills. Most are experienced miners due to the life of professional salvage and repair. They are skilled engineers and technicians. More than once, the very corporations that lobby against the Quarians made backroom deals with the fleet, arranging for skilled Quarians to fill space engineering jobs that other species would demand higher wages for. Quarians are widely hated among the working classes. Quarians are coming to take our jobs is a common response to the fleet's approach. Ugh. Due to the Quarians' precious existence needed to enforce strict rationing, government is somewhat autocratic. The micro fleet operations are directed by the Admiralty, a board of 5 military officers who are advised by a legislative body called the Conclave. Each vessel in the fleet has the right to send representatives to the Conclave aboard the flagship. The number of representatives is based on crew size. Larger clans with bigger ships and more votes form cores of political blocs. The opposition comes from the Outriders coalition with delegates from thousands of smaller ships. The Admiralty defers to the Conclave's decisions in most circumstances. However, if all 5 members agree that a Conclave decision jeopardizes the survival of the fleet and cannot get the Conclave to address their concerns, they have the right to summarily overturn the legislative decision. After the Admiralty uses this extraordinary power, they must resign. If the Admiralty does not step down after using their veto, the rest of the military is obligated to arrest them. Each captain has the authority over his vessel, but is advised by elected civilian council, just as the Admiralty is advised by the Conclave. This relationship may range from the corporation to polite tolerance to outright hostility. But any captain who overrules his council without good reason is relieved by command by the Admiralty. Many Quarian ships are owned by the clans who pool their resources to purchase used vessels from private sellers. Large ships are prestigious for big, rich clans, but a small ship means status for a small clan with enough personal wealth to afford a private vessel. Clan vessel captains are not subject to, by, to dismissal by the Admiralty. Abusive captains are a family problem if they do not disrupt the operations of the fleet. Ew. The migrant fleet is the largest concentration of star-faring vessels in the galaxy, sprawling across millions of kilometers. It can take days for an entire fleet to cross through a mass relay. When the Quarians fled their homeworld, the fleet was a motley aggregation of freighters, shuttles, and industrial vessels, an odd warship. After 3 centuries, they have all been modified to support a larger crews as comfortably as possible. As the Quarians achieved stability, they began weeding out the ships least suitable for long-term habitation, selling them and pooling the money to buy larger and more space-worthy hulls. The process is ongoing, and the vessels wear out and break down. While some ships enjoy dedicated cabins with full privacy and sanitary facilities, many more are former freighters whose cargo bays and containers are pressurized and divided into family spaces using simple metal cubicle bulkheads. The Quarians enliven these austere spaces with colorful quilts, tapestries, to which also help muffle sound. The day-to-day operations of the fleet, traffic control, station keeping, supply distribution, and so on, are under military jurisdiction. Through ship captains have those ship captains have authority to deviate from their assigned positions and may leave the fleet at any time. They are assumed to do so at their own risk. As the migrant fleet moves around the galaxy, many ships split off to pursue individual goals, returning days or years later. Okay, I think that's all. That one. As the human race expands its territory and raises the general standard of living, and the demand for industrial resources continues to grow. Many planets, moons, and asteroids contain wealth of resources, but many systems have barely been charted, let alone thoroughly surveyed. Unmanned probes are one solution, but often are lost to space hazards, unforeseen circumstances, or theft by salvagers. In recent years, the AGE-5, the Alliance Geological Service, has offered bounties to private individuals or teams willing to perform mineralogical surveys on the frontier. This survey data is made publicly available to further corporate development. Due to the cost of travel and the dangers of operating hostile worlds on hostile worlds, it's rarely a profitable endeavor. Light metals, metals with low atomic weight, are often used in the construction of spacecraft and vehicles. Heavy metals, metals with higher atomic weights, are used to construct equipment components. The platinum group elements are particularly useful. Rare earths. The most useful materials in this category are radioactives or magnets and gases. Various gases are required to support all known forms of sentient life. Some are commonly used as fuel. And then weapons, blade of armor. A warship's kinetic barriers reduce the damage from solid objects, but can do nothing against but can do nothing to block guardian lasers, particle beams, and other forms of directed energy weapons. DEWs. The inner layer of a warship protection consists of a abrasive armor plate designed to boil away when heated. Vaporized armor materials scatters the dew beam, rendering it ineffectual. A scaffold is built around the interior pressure hull, and sheets of ablative armor hung from the structure. Ships typically have multiple layers of armor separated by empty baffles, spaces often used for cargo storage. Cruisers, which lack the internal space to fit dedicated fighter hangars, on the shipboard fighter complement in the baffles. It is not unknown for the enlisted crew to build illicit alcohol distilleries in some of the obscure corners of the baffles, safe from prying eyes. I do believe that is my last thingy there. Oh no, I still have. What the hell? Oh, okay.
Combat Hard. A mass accelerator propels a solid metal slug using precisely controlled electromagnetic attraction and repulsion. The slug is designed to squash or shatter on impact, increasing the energy it transfers to the target. If this were not the case, it would simply punch a hole right through, doing minimal damage. Accelerator design was revolutionized by Element Zero. A slug lightened by a mass effect field can be accelerated to greater speeds, permitting projectile velocities that were previously unattainable. If accelerated to a high enough velocity, a simple paint chip can impact with the same destructive force as a nuclear weapon. However, mass accelerators produce recoil equal to their impact energy. This is mitigated somewhat by the mass effect fields that rounds are suspended within. But weapon recoil is still the prime limiting factor on slug velocity.
Well now, whew. I think that has, yes, the codex is no longer blinking, yay! Let's see here. Okay. Now. Seeing that I've only done two planets, but we've done a heck of a whole lot this time. We went and did the last quest. For now, for the Citadel, we've got the ship. We went and talked to everybody on the ship. We've done 2 planets in this particular cluster. We're going to do the next 2 planets next Wednesday. And hopefully we'll be getting Liara at that point. And then after that we'll be doing like a whole bunch of side. Once we get Liara, then we'll be doing a whole bunch of side quests. Yes, I'll be doing side quests before we get back to the main quest. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. Tomorrow we'll be playing some more Stardew Valley. Um, and on Saturday, there will be a Star Wars game run, and hopefully, I will be participating in a one-shot with my good friend Downhill Games. We're going to be doing a spooky game. It's Five Nights at Freddy's based. And hopefully I'll get you more details on Saturday. So then you guys can come and watch me get completely scared. Haha.